Hello everyone, this is Rod Walton with Clarion Energy at the studio at Distributech 2019. I'm here with Patrick Avery, who is Vice President of Power Grid Automation at GNW Electric. We're talking about distribution automation. And Pat, I'd like to just ask you a question about, it's a big topic here always. It's one of the more popular tracks that we have. But looking at the sector from the substation on down, can you tell me a little bit about, are we at a transition point in history, or can we see the destination where that sector is going?
Well, I think it's an evolutionary process, so it's more a next step in the evolution between going from substation to the meter. And basically what's happening is everything's going digital. So the days of everything being analog, current-based signals, where you have a lot of construction involved in substations. As soon as you start going digital, you can save a lot of money on substation installation costs. You can send more data faster between intelligent electronic devices.
Right.
So that's the next evolution.
Okay, excellent. And can you tell me a little bit about what GNW is doing here lately on their own front to kind of drive that forward push for distribution automation?
Well, we focus on reliability indice improvement. So the indices that the public utility commissions use to decide whether or not utilities will get a return on investment, that's what we focus on. So that's fault location, isolation, and service restoration. We also focus on resiliency. So another evolution in automation is going underground with submersible equipment.
Right.
That's fully automated, and you can put the controls in an IP68 submersible cabinet, as well as the communications. So with all the advents and increasing occurrences of storms, worldwide,
right,
the more you go underground with submersible gear, the more reliable your automation is and the more resilient it is.
With all of this, there's a lot of data. Data is the thing that gets talked about a lot here at Distributech, and it's certainly not a pain point. I mean, there's plenty of it, but what are the cautions in terms of too much information? How do you wade through all of that to get to what's important?
Well, I'm not so sure if it's a caution, because we're pretty far down the road. Utilities want to know all they can about their systems, and with the advent of automation, they've been able to gather large amounts of data. So the evolutionary trend there is big data, data analytics. So how do you take and use all of this big data that you have so you can better understand your system? So it's not so much a caution as it is, what do you do with all that data you have? How do you use it wisely and efficiently?
Right. And there's a lot of resources, solar, otherwise going out on the grid from the distribution part of it. One of the things that is also talked about here is the standard making process for DERMS, for ADMS, and that sort of thing. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, well, the thing I like that occurred on the DERM side is IEEE Standard 1547 that deals with grid interconnection as well as interoperability of devices. So prior to that standard, the developers were left to their own devices to decide how they were going to connect to the grid and what kind of equipment they want to use. Well, now we have a pretty comprehensive standard that gives people a good guideline or roadmap for putting in a microgrid properly and more reliably. On the ADMS side, I think we still have a lot of work to do from a standard standpoint with cybersecurity.
Right.
So I'm looking for more standards development on that side, but we're going to get there.
Good. It's good to know.
Yeah.
All right, Rod Walton with Clarion Energy and Pat Avery with GNW Electric at Distributech 2019.